Central banking sort of came about as this natural institution to augment the technological limitations of gold. It wasn't portable. They could accept these dollars, but they could redeem them for gold if they thought we were being irresponsible with monetary policy. The history of central banking is quite interesting. I would say that, maybe this is an important point too, that people were all seeking something for nothing. I think this is kind of unavoidable. This is the entrepreneurial path, right? You've got a problem, you've got an itch. You want to scratch that itch or solve that problem with less effort, right? The really successful entrepreneur is almost brilliantly lazy, right? He's identifying a problem and finding the quicker way, a better way to solve it. When he makes that discovery, he can now sell that product or that service or that method, whatever it is, into the marketplace. And because everyone wants something for nothing, they will reward him, right? This is the entrepreneurial process. So that's great. We all want something for nothing, and it's a valid, noble pursuit. The problem, I think, is when we cross that line of self-ownership or of morality, and we start seeking something for nothing from others, right? Someone else has planted the garden, someone else has built the business, someone else has mined the gold. And instead of me performing the work to create that value or earn that value, I figured that I can just go out and co-opt or coerce or take that property or that asset from that person. That's a path for me to get something for nothing. But it's the immoral path, right? So I see this as kind of like the driving force in most human action. We're trying to get something for nothing, but there's a line that can be crossed. And we talked earlier about self-ownership. I think that's the line. When you violate the self-ownership of someone else, that's the problem. Central banking sort of came about as this natural institution to augment the technological limitations of gold. It wasn't portable, right? But when you put that much power, you concentrate that much power into one institution, it becomes noxious. It becomes corrupting. It becomes irresistible for some people of lower scruples anywhere in the world to seek that seat of power. And this is what I think has really started to deteriorate the monetary system. And if you look at the history of central banking, it's a lot of leveraging one another, right? You talked about a lot of the gold ending up in the United States. This was also pre-World War II. A lot of it has to do with the balance of payments among countries, which are just inflows and outflows of capital. But particularly when things got hot in Europe, a lot of gold started coming into the US. And again, with that much power or money in one place, we became the world superpower. And so we stepped on to the theater of war at the end of World War II, and we declared ourselves victorious, rightfully or wrongfully so. You can make your own judgments about that. And then we rewrote the rules of global banking to favor the United States, where the dollar is pegged to gold. All of the currencies are pegged to the dollar. So what this gave the United States is the infamous exorbitant privilege, as has been called, to be able to print money. We could send these paper certificates out into the world and have them send us goods and services in exchange. Ad infinitum, right? Until the system breaks down. Countries had the option to call our bluff, though. They could accept these dollars, but they could redeem them for gold if they thought we were being irresponsible with monetary policy for printing too much money. Well, countries started calling our bluff after 1944. We had this huge economic boom. And then again, glossing over some history, I think it was Germany that tried to repatriate some gold. So they tried to redeem dollars for gold. And then we had the infamous 1971 Nixon shock that said no more gold redemptions. And from that point on, and it was said to be a temporary measure, as governments so often and infamously say, who was it that said that there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government solution? Here we are exactly 50 years later in 2021, deep into this global fiat currency experiment led by the United States. And things have really come off the hinges. I point people on this topic to this website, WTFhappened in 1971.com. This is not just economic, right? It's socioeconomic. There's, obesity rates have spiked.